live.
Well, I mean, see, people start.
Yeah, they might start popping in on the Instagram and all. The other way around.
So nobody's on.
No, not yet. So is my head showing? Like, is your, if you look over that, we'll both fit in there?
Top of your head's cut off. No. Right there, I can see your eyes and your little bit of your forehead, but right there, all I can barely see your nose. You know, your nose on down. Well, listen, yeah, do that a little bit. Actually, I can do it while you're sitting there.
I don't know why you don't know doing it.
Okay, so yeah, that's good. I'm sure. Yeah.
Except then we now need to make sure we fit in that camera. Oh, but we're gonna move it anyway.
Yeah.
Because we just did for that.
I want to bring, some of these that I've got.
Oh, you have some left over? I have a shit ton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we better have some topics.
Is this one on?
Yep.
Like it's rolling line?
I think so.
Okay. I don't. Okay.
Yep, it's live.
all falling down, we need a place to hide. A safe place somewhere in the woods, we can start a fire. All we know is what will be our home. We will stay till the break of dawn.
Maybe you can, on your phone, open
Cold
Instagram
night
so we can
takes
see
us to a
comments.
place to escape the
Can
chill.
you mute it?
Tucked up somewhere in the woods on a hill. Wake up feeling the cold in between our toes.
Wow, this is about a 10-second delay.
Is there a way back? Nobody knows.
Nobody else? Okay, I'm gonna let you look at the old stuff.
And we leave it all behind.
Should we do it?
Can't you see?
Alright. Take this placeholder off.
Keith.
Ah, Keith Mullen. I'm married to him. I'm married to that guy.
I'm married to David Buchanan.
You're married to David
How
Buchanan.
can you tell if we're loud enough or no? It's just this one mic.
Well, because I tested it.
Okay.
There we are. Get this mic nice and close. All right. So, welcome to the Everyone's Agnostic live
Summer camp.
summer camp. You just got back from canoeing, so now it's time to sing some songs. What are we gonna sing, Cass?
We don't want to go home. Boom, boom, boom. Having such a wonderful time.
You're not even in the video.
They say there's no place else like home. Takatoka suits me fine. So lay me another pallet on the floor. Boom, boom, boom. Call my folks at home. You can always hear us singing our song. We don't want to go, we don't want to go, we don't want to go home. We really mean it. Ba, 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 ba.
Jazz hands. Where are the... No.
Oh.
Keith wants to know when we're having s'mores. And
Yeah,
also,
that's
hello.
later tonight.
Hello, Kurt Coman. We are crazy heathens. So Instagram, you're over here. I've got a cell phone over here that's doing Instagram Live for us. We don't have anyone monitoring the comments on Instagram because it's just me and Cass. We have limited technology, limited
Our
friends.
staff, we gave our staff the day off.
The staff had the day off.
It's Saturday after all.
Yeah, so sorry, Instagram, if you're commenting, we're not going to be able to see it because I can't monitor that phone over there. Also, hello, Sam Roxas-Chua from Oregon. Have you been to Oregon?
Oregano.
Oregano, USA? Yes.
No, I have not been to Oregon.
Nor have I. I've been to Washington, though.
Washington.
Yep, that was beautiful. We went sea glass hunting there. So also, those of you who tuned in to also see Dave Warnock, that's him. No, that's so bad. No, he's not here. He's hanging around with Drew Beckius, and they're just shooting shit, and I think he just wanted to not do this. And he's allowed to do
It's
that.
kind of a trip across town just for a photobomb, really. I mean,
Well, no, I was inviting him for the whole hour
Oh, okay.
if he wanted to do it. So Dave Warnock is not here today for the Q&A, but I'll probably do some live Facebook tonight at the party that we're having locally. Also, hi, Bethany. So yeah, Dave's not here. That's an announcement. And then I guess we'll just do a couple more announcements. We wanted to promote Recovering from Religion's
Do you have the
retreat.
detail?
No.
Oh.
Nope,
Look it
I
up.
don't. Google it. Fucking Google it. It's on the internet. If you look at Recovering from Religion, there's information about a retreat in North Carolina in September. In September, it's going to be a couple of days. It's going to be pretty fucking cool. Similar to ours, but kind of different. So pick one that sounds good to you and go to that one. So Recovering from Religion. What are you doing?
Listening to announcements attentively.
I know it's really boring.
ADD.
Also,
kicking in.
We've got, you want to announce our retreat? He needs his glasses to talk.
Second weekend in October?
Yeah. No, the first, I think.
First weekend in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smoky Mountains.
Why is this not?
Smoky Mountain rain keeps on calling. So it's pretty full, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty full.
Promote it too much.
But if you're really that interested, you could try and see if you can squeeze in. It might happen. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and local people within a drive.
I mean,
days, they could just drop in. They don't have to stay the night.
Yeah, you could get like an Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
In like Gatlinburg on your own, and then just come hang out with us
during the day?
At the cabin.
At night?
Yeah, you could do that. That's totally a thing. So yeah, retreat is going to be October 6, 7, 8 or something.
We've just recently added a seance to that event, and we will be trying to get in touch with dead people. We talk to dead people now that we're atheists, because it's a witchcraft thing that just came naturally once we purged our hearts and souls of Jesus Christ, and that vacuum that was created, just evil spirits came in, and all of a sudden we could see and hear and talk with dead people. So we'll be partying with Prince like it's 1999.
He's going to the same place we're going?
He's already there.
Oh, because he's dead. Okay, we're not dead. Okay, got it. I couldn't keep up with this weird story. So yeah, we're not doing a seance at the retreat. Please don't be triggered. Please still be interested. Don't let Cass deter you with this bullshit.
Hey, Erin, am I going to get to meet you this weekend?
Yeah, Erin Manthe. Yeah, she's going to probably come to the party tonight. Kurt is interested in going because he lives in Atlanta. That is excellent. So check that out. That might be more convenient for you than Tennessee, I would imagine. We have no investment whether you go to Recovering from Religion or Everyone's Agnostic. Whatever is healing and appealing and affordable for you. Also, hi, Cynthia. Your episode is going to be coming out in probably about a month or so.
Okay, so this isn't
she's auto.
Coming tonight. Erin's coming tonight.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, we're trying to read comments and talk to you at the same time, so I'm sorry if we're kind of getting like stuck here. So Erin's coming tonight. Hey, Jen. Jen's also awesome.
Yeah.
Jen's coming tonight. Great. Okay, so Kurt's going to think about it. Okay. I don't know why, but like the comments aren't like auto. Oh, Dave is. Really, Dave?
Fuck off, Dave. We invited you and you stood us up. Let's go fuck yourself.
So mean. He's here now. Can I make you like, I know that on Instagram you can have them join the video, but I don't think you can here. Because otherwise I would make him join, but I guess not. So Dave is here now, but he's only watching the video and not participating because he's too good for us.
Every now and then, should we tell the Instagram people that we're not really following the comments?
By the way, Instagram, if you're still watching, we are unable to watch your comments because we've got two of us and we can't read them over there. So we're only interacting with the Facebook folks. Well, I thought you were. Oh, yeah, good call. So you're watching over there. So Cass is watching the comments.
Ruthie. Hi, Ruthie.
Dave.
Hi, Gratefully Jen.
Why is Dave saying he's downstairs? He's not downstairs.
Oh my gosh, is he here?
No, he can't be here.
How often
is he literally outside? He's saying, let me in. That's a lie.
Is the house locked?
He's not here. He's bullshitting us.
They're probably here.
No.
I mean, is anybody here to unlock the door?
Is he literally here?
I have no idea.
Is he fucking with us?
He's fucking with us.
Yeah. Keith is saying it. Dave is physically there. How do you know?
Ronnie Millsap.
Keith, you're not even here.
Wait, Smoky Mountain Rain is Ronnie Millsap. I was thinking it was Eddie Rabbit, but that's the windshield wiper guy. So two rain songs. That's okay. My brain is functioning on all cylinders.
All one of them.
On 3 hours sleep.
Yeah. What's Instagram saying? Lots of people showing up.
Women Beyond Faith joined.
how often do you go live? So a commenter on Instagram said, how often do you go live? I think we're trying to do it quarterly. So far, every time we've hung out in person, we've done something live. So that was March, and then now in July. So we'll probably do it again in October at the retreat. So check in October. If you don't go to the retreat, we'll probably go live at that point. And be ridiculous again and have nothing important at all to say.
I have a lot. Notes.
He does actually have things
notes
to talk about. So we're just kind of rambling to kind of get things started and kind of getting used to how this all works.
Did we hit all the announcements?
Dave is saying Drew was on the roof. You guys are just ridiculous. You're just ridiculous. I can't take Dave anywhere.
Drew, metaphorically, Drew kind of is on the roof.
He is literally on the roof.
His personality's
He is
over the top.
He is.
And big and loud
Yeah.
and fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So much fun.
I've actually just been really, really enjoying him.
Drew? Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah. He's a character.
I hate, it sounds bad for me to say I was surprised, but it's a pleasant surprise. I mean,
You're expecting much worse?
Well, just that, I would never expect personalities to be as big as that just right out of the womb. So I was like, Was
it that big right out of the womb? He got out and he's like, ba-da-da-da-da-da.
He's been on the show, and we've been friends online for a long time. So I guess I thought I knew him, but boy, you get him in person, and there's like there should be. There's a whole nother level of humanity that you get to see.
So I should mention now Instagram and Facebook. And Instagram, we are now watching the comments. So if you said something, say it again. We're watching now. Facebook, we're watching you.
Well, they're just joining. I mean, I guess they could comment.
People are still popping in there,
Okay.
but yeah, they can comment there. So we already have a question from David Buchanan. He wants to know, what is the best recovery story you know? And he qualifies best as meaning the most fully recovered. That's an interesting question.
It's me.
I was going to say me. I mean, look how recovered I am. I've got all my limbs, like I'm still solid.
The best recovery story.
Yeah, how do you answer? I don't know how you answer that.
I would put Dave Warnock in the running for that.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, as far as the blow.
Yeah.
If you look at the caliber of the trauma of the blow.
Yeah.
I mean, his kids and his family, shunning him to the point where they did. That's, in a way, he has more to overcome than I did. I mean, my family kind of poo-pooed me, but they didn't cut me off entirely.
Yeah.
And then now, 10 years later, it's a non-issue almost.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to just be like, literally anyone who's ever left religion has the best recovery story.
Oh, rankings. No, that won't.
I don't like ranking. I don't like ranking. We're all doing fantastically.
But I will say this, no matter who it is, who or whatever, it's always going to involve diligent work on the part of the person. I think recovery of any kind, it might happen a little bit organically and chronologically over 50 years of your life. Like by the time you die, time will have taught you and healed some things. Time does not heal all wounds, it might heal some. But if you want to really do what I think David's talking about as far as strong recovery, and maybe within a time period that gives the rest of your life a chance to thrive, as opposed to you're constantly in recovery. Because I'm a when I say ADD and when I say when in hell keep going, I think if people who have an emotionally low pain threshold want to get out of the pain, they're bad compartmentalizers. They're bad at just plugging their ears and burying their head in the sand. They want to know what they're feeling and why they're feeling it, and they want it to stop if it's painful per se. And so I just think talk therapy, and if you're not that great a talker, then EMDR, or both. But talk with people, and just don't have a problem with having a problem. Just own it. I fucked up. I gave the first 40 years of my life to an invisible friend, and I'm embarrassed, but I can't just sit there and wallow in my embarrassment. I got to get busy, and
it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
A lot of you were raised in it. And so it's hard to unwrap something that you had to absorb in an indoctrinated way as a child. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know that we're really answering his question, but those are ways to help you recover, to help you achieve the best religious trauma recovery ever, because we're going to have a top 10 best recovered former religious people list, and it's going to be on our site. So make sure to submit your application and tell us how well you recovered from religion. Essay format, please. Thank you.
I think Dave has his hand raised saying me, me, me.
He did. He volunteered himself as the most recovered person.
And then Kurt says, I'm still processing after 15 years.
Yeah, it was a 15-year ordeal. That's fair. Yeah, and I'd probably deconverted in my mid-20s, and I'm in my mid-late 30s now. So it's been a dozen years, and I don't know if anyone says dozen years, but it's been a dozen years, and it's, in a way, it's gotten harder. In a way, it's gotten easier.
Dozen or Baker's dozen? Because it's a big difference. Shouldn't we be shaming Kurt for taking 15 years?
Yeah.
I think that would work.
Way to go, Kurt.
Yeah. Okay, so I got some ideas.
So we just lost a listener.
I just got some ideas off of the Facebook community site, and as like in the middle of it was like really 4:30 in the morning or something this morning.
Yeah, you had insomnia.
And I can't remember her name because she's so new to the group, but she said, I've been to a beach where I saw man boobs bigger than mine, and he got to take his shirt off in full glory, and I didn't. And I'm asking why.
Why?
And honestly, European beaches and stuff, some of us have been to, it's literally a non-thing, and I think America needs to join the ranks of, you know what, it's all about Mike Pence, though. I mean, it's all about that mindset of not only that sex is like bad, but men are not able to control themselves. And so just like in Islam, we have to cover the women, otherwise we're going to rape.
Yeah.
And so that whole
so it's
stupidity,
our responsibility.
Yeah, it's all, yeah. So that's got to go. I agree 100%. Women should go topless on the beach.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any mixed reasons for why he wants that.
I love breasts, but you know what?
But he's not going to rape them, so like.
Yeah, I'm not going to rape them, but I'm not, like the guns. Where's my arm? Get my arm in the picture. Guns on a beach are attractive. I mean, beautiful things are beautiful things. Yeah. The sunset's beautiful. Should we
Let's cover the beach because it's too beautiful. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, the sun. I want to rape the sun. All right, dreams. Justin had a dream where he found himself in church, like maybe a familiar old church that he used to go to, and he was coming in and out, and eventually went back in, and everybody was waiting for him to come back in, and they said, what's wrong, and what do you have to say to us, or what, whatever. And he kind of froze for a second, and then just turned around and walked out. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just thought we have dreams. And dreams in the Bible were something to interpret and something to hear from God. And yet today I've heard from many fictional authors that keep a notepad by their bed and get ideas for books from their dreams, and they really can, I think, tell us something about ourselves. Mm-hmm. So like the snake in the grass, well, that's my Aunt Tilda who really is coming after me, or representation and saying and interpret dreams and stuff. I don't know, I just think celebrate dreams. Yeah, they're fascinating. Yeah, the brain fires when we're asleep, so there's no such thing as unconsciousness when it comes to the brain. You might be asleep, but your brain never sleeps.
That makes me think about tarot. Tarot, back when we were Christian, was evil, full of demons.
Symbolisms,
Well, yeah, but now that we are wherever we are, we're more critical thinkers, skeptical. I still know some ex-Christians or free thinkers, skeptic people, atheist people who use tarot cards for that exact same reason. It's more of a conscious way to engage in a dream and to project your shit onto symbols, which can be a helpful way to process things that you don't yet have words for, which is a legit way to process things, to just use concepts that don't need to be exactly defined, and then your brain can kind of put it together. So tarot is apparently a good thing. It can be a good thing as long as you don't take it too seriously.
Here's the caution about outsourcing direction for your life. So what she said, yes. But what we did is we forfeited our own minds and our own hearts and our own emotions and our own guts to say, what do you want with me, Lord? Do with me. Here I am, send me. I'm outsourcing my very life and path and direction and future to you, away from me. And so if you're an ex-Christian, that's your brain pathway. And so the pitfall would be to get into tarot cards or anything else and say, oh, the tarot is telling me to take this job. The tarot is telling me to marry this person or to break up with this person or whatever. And I'm saying that we, ex-Christians, probably have a dangerous propensity to cede and to forfeit over those things because that's our MO. And it's lazy, and it was easy, and it felt good for a celestial parent to take care of us, and we didn't have to have ownership or responsibility for our own lives. That's just caution.
Yeah, and it's double layered like that for women because
Yep.
I've mentioned it on the show before, but when I was younger and I was taught that kind of like men are the head of the household thing, I didn't actually resent it. Like, it didn't bother me at that time. At the time, it appealed to me because there was less expected of me, less decisions that I needed to make.
You were going to be taken care of.
I was going to be taken care of, and at the time that sounded good to me. And honestly, it sounded good to me for a while until, like, even post deconversion, I still held on to that internalized misogyny of rendering my autonomy, especially the taking care of oneself, rendering that, outsourcing that to someone else. And that in that case, maybe being your male partner in my situation. And it's bullshit. And like, that's something I've been working on for years since I've deconverted, and getting more comfortable with relying on myself, making my own choices, being bold and taking risks on my own without needing to consult like 24 people or defer to someone who I think knows better what I should do with my life. And that's a common theme for people recovering from religion, that they really fight to gain back their sense of autonomy and their sense of choice, and they end up outsourcing it to different things. So even if they don't use religion anymore, they might use something else. They might seek something else, like maybe a political party that they're going to super align with. So when you're an idealist, when you're a religious idealist, even if you release the religion, you might still cling to an approach to life that's
binary,
idealized and binary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just reading the comments really quick. Kurt says that he was never comfortable in that head of the household role, and he always thought of his ex-wife as his partner. And I've heard that too. There are a lot of men who were told to be patriarchal.
Like you said, patriarchy doesn't benefit men.
It doesn't benefit men.
There was a really
men.
honest moment in this last episode that's out currently with Amberly, where we were talking about how her husband was supposed to be that, and she was supposed to be this, these roles. And she said, you know what, at one point when he wasn't doing it, I resented it, and I called him out, and I said, you're going to have to step up and be the leader of this household. Mm-hmm. And it's just, that's an example of the switch, you know, that I think, you know, we ask ourselves all the time, why do women support Trump? Well, because there is a place where they kind of like the role that evangelicalism has slot for them.
Yeah.
And they like authoritarianism.
Yeah.
So it smacks of something they're familiar with. God's an authoritarian dictator.
Yeah.
Tyrant.
It means someone's in charge and that you don't have to make decisions. So to an extent, it can appeal to a certain person in a certain point in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's familial.
I'm not a fan of it anymore.
Oh, real quick, shout out to Dark Matter 2525.
Oh, God, we have a problem.
Yeah, these are YouTube videos. Dark Matter 2525.
Never heard of it.
They were a big part of my deconversion. YouTube in general was a big part of my deconversion. Hitchens and the likes.
Huh.
Okay, so.
And make sure, you know, Instagram, Facebook, the one person we have on Instagram, we have one person watching on Instagram, but keep processing or put out your questions. We are looking to engage. We will monologue at you if there's nothing to reflect off of, but feel free to keep on interacting with us. I'm keeping an eye on the comments.
Thomas, hi Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas, yes. Hello, Thomas.
Thomas of the famous Blurred Lines podcast.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
I don't think I've listened to his show.
Let's see.
And John Laux.
Sand trap therapy?
Oh, sand tray therapy is something that Keith, my husband, brought up, because this is back to the tarot card thing, using symbols to process something in your mind that your language is not ready to articulate. It's a therapy that you can do with a therapist, where you can pick these little like icons, these little characters, and have them represent something, and kind of your mind kind of plays out a scene, and then your brain interprets it, and you kind of end up subconsciously projecting a narrative on top of these conceptual objects, and you're able to see something that you weren't able to articulate before. But it's something that you do with a trained therapist who does sand tray therapy, but it's very akin to tarot. Like, it's a way to project out your subconscious narrative and play, you know, it's how I came up with. Most of you know my real last name is not Delafont. Come on, who has that last name? It's ridiculous. I picked that because I did sand tray therapy with my therapist, and there's this little green elephant, actually. This little guy, literally this little guy, when I was doing sand tray therapy, ended up representing my authentic self, myself that I don't filter, that I don't have to flatten myself, particularly around my believing family. That elephant represents the wholeness of who I am. So that's where that came from. So sand tray therapy, it's a thing. Look into that if you want.
Have we said hi to John Laux?
I did, yeah. I said his name. Hi, John.
Been enjoying your rock and roll, bro. So, speaking of like authentic self and unfiltered self, a big topic that I think is wonderful to discuss, and that is this concept of, and it comes from one. I mean, it's among other things. It's the 4 promises or the 4 agreements. Don't take things personally.
Yeah.
And I want to. Obviously, I think I mean, if you know me, I love tough-skinned people. I love people that take the high road and are the big boy in the room and somehow transcend the fray and the flailing of immaturity, and so you just don't take it personal and you move on.
Mm-hmm.
That said, there is a pitfall there to where you can end up saying or suppressing your own feelings. So the fact is, you were hurt by what they did, and you did take it personally, but you're told not to take it personally, so you just take it on the chin for the team, and worst case scenario is you embed that in your body, which it'll come back to haunt you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the key is go ahead and take it personal. Go ahead and feel your feelings, and maybe not counterattack, but go to them and say, this, I'm feeling this. I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like what it might be doing to our relationship, or something to where it's rational dialogue and your feelings are conveyed back to them. We can't, I know we're averse to using the term, you made me feel this way, because nobody makes you feel anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But had they not said that, you wouldn't be feeling it. So there is an impetus. There is an action or a statement on their part.
A
catalyst that aroused feelings in you. And here we find ourselves. However we got here, I'm feeling this way. You didn't make me feel this way, but here I'm still feeling it, and I want to talk about it, because otherwise I might be denying and belittling my own feelings and my own validation and my real self, which I'd like to introduce to you, and I'd like for you to know, and you may never know if I just keep taking it on the chin for the relationship.
Yeah.
So I just was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Taking things personally, feelings are valid. Don't counterattack, but bring your thoughts and feelings to the conversation, and have a mature conversation. You're still taking the high road. You're still being tough-skinned, all the things that I value. But you're also giving the person a chance to acknowledge your existence, your boundaries, and that you're alive and well in the relationship, and you're not to be trodden over like a doormat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think that I think this is what related to what you're saying, that if you have people in your life that you don't feel like you can be your full self with, and in this case, we're probably talking about the fact that you don't believe.
Right, family and friends that have shunned you for your
basically.
loss of faith.
And if you still have those people in your life and you have to engage with them, and you choose to either not even tell them anything at all, or you choose to never bring up your identity, even though maybe they know, but you don't articulate it at all. I mean, that can be one approach, but a lot of people are afraid to tell their family or their friends because of how they might react, because of how they might judge them, because they might cut them off. And those are all valid things to be afraid of. At some point, you might want to consider whether it's worth it, because at least for me, I decided that the most important thing for me was authenticity in my relationships, to an extreme. I need to be seen. You don't need to celebrate who I am. I really fucking wish that you would, because I think I'm fantastic, but you do need to see who I am and my identity. So,
but I'm not waiting around to like myself till you do.
Nah, fuck that. Mm-mm.
So Becca shared this last week about her family that goes to Chick-fil-A, and how, in a way, she's like, they know who I am and what I stand for, and they just seem to be rubbing Chick-fil-A in my face.
Yeah.
Our buddy, well, I don't know how much, I'll just say a friend of ours got an email from their brother that was extremely insensitive.
Yeah.
And very painful and very insulting and extremely selfish on the author's part. However, as most of our Christian friends and family sometimes are, I guarantee you he is clueless as to how we could read that and how we're interpreting it through the lens of post-Christianity. Even something as small as somebody saying to you, I'm praying for you, knowing that you don't believe in prayer, knowing that you don't believe in the God that might be answering that prayer.
Yeah.
And so we often have that turmoil of say, okay, do I just say, okay, that's their mother tongue, that's their language, I know what they mean well, I'm not going to counterattack, pray away, thank you for thinking of me, I guess. Yeah. I mean, that comes up all the time on first. How do we handle that?
Yeah, what do you do?
Do I take that personal or not?
Do you react to it? Do you say something?
Don't counterattack, but you could say...
Do you say thank you?
You know what? 40 years of my life, I prayed my ass off and nothing changed. The world happens exactly as it would if there were no God. Yeah. I would appreciate it for my sake. Just like I won't say fuck around you, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't use spiritual language around me. Mm-hmm. Can we do that? Can we do that? Do we have an agreement? Is that fair? Or is the relationship such that I only see that person once a year? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to complicate it by, putting censorship on our language. Yeah. Maybe. Those are all decisions that are tough.
It's tough to make, but the most important thing to realize, to know, in my opinion, is to know what belongs to you, to control. You can't control what they say. You can't control their behavior. You can't control their beliefs. You can control yourself, your truth, what you say, what you do with your body, who you spend time with. You get to control how you react to those people in your life. And if that means that you hang out with them less, that's something that you can control. But getting into this world where you're asking people to do things that aren't within your control, like you can't ask someone, you can't demand that someone do something that is their right to decide what to do. That's called autonomy, that we all have our little circle around us that belongs to us. And then when we engage with other people, we're asking, are you willing to use your autonomy to meet me here? Are you willing to, you don't have to, I'm not going to make you because I can't. And so it's all of this is a negotiation. All this is showing your cards and seeing if anything matches between the two of you, if you can negotiate anything. And if there's nothing to match, then you can kind of be like, okay, you know what? I showed all my cards. You showed all of your cards. I don't see anything overlapping. Let's move forward.
You showed me mine. I showed you yours, and we're not interested.
We're not impressed. We're just not impressed.
So there's this element of, do you want to be an agent of change? And so sometimes the debate is, there is like not only the safe route, like the guy that had a dream, Justin Hicks, and he just walked out, and we're all like, yeah, that's because we often refer to this. We're all Jesus followers at one point, or at least most of us. And when he said, don't cast your pearls before swine, lest they turn on you and fuck you up, something like that. And that's what we're saying is sometimes I could turn around and say to that person, like that email that was offensive, we literally are in conversation debating what to say back, and will it fall on deaf ears? Like, that again is a Jesus quote for those who have ears to hear culturally. And so as a social change agent, you ask yourself, is it lazy for me to walk away and leave that person a bigot? Or could I affect change culturally and socially by calling out his or her bigotry, his or her blind spot? Hey, here's a little feedback, man. What you said to me hurt and was highly offensive. I know you're clueless. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not really interested in your intention at this point, because what happened in me was different than what you intended, and I'd like to talk about that.
Yeah. I think that's the difference. And this reminds me of the diversity class I took at my work, actually, because I used to think, oh, it's about the intent. What is your intent? But in the diversity class they emphasize the word impact. I mean, intent is an important word to consider, but the more important word is impact. How did you impact that person? It doesn't matter what your intention was. Like, feel good about yourself that you had good intentions, but how did you impact that person by what you said and how you treated them?
Oh, well, you know this, right? Whenever you're hurt and somebody says, I didn't mean to.
That's really
the intent. That's
it's
what
invalidating. It's invalidating.
I didn't mean to, so shut up.
Yeah. It's just a joke.
You shouldn't have been hurt.
Yeah.
Because I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
My motives were pure.
I mean, in a general sense, I think we all need to be just a little bit more okay with, like, recognizing when we fuck up. Especially, I'm just thinking about allyship, right? If you're trying to be an ally and you fuck up and you say something shitty, which you're gonna do, it can be our impulse to protect, to double down, to defend, and say, well, there's no way I can do this right. You guys are so sensitive. You're changing the rules all the time. Yeah, it's just better that I don't say anything at all. And that's not going to help anyone. I think everyone needs to get a little bit more comfortable with being agnostic.
They already are.
I mean, just knowing that you don't know everything, that you can't know everything. And when it's pointed out to you that you fucked up, it's okay. Just be like, oh, man, I didn't realize that. Like, maybe ask for some education on the topic, like, oh, shit, I didn't mean to hurt you like that. Can you tell me, more about it or something? Try to get educated if you can. But fucking don't try to be right all the time. You don't need to be right all the time. It's such a relief to not be a Christian anymore and to be wrong. Like, to be okay being wrong, because then I can learn so much, and I'm just not constantly, like, protecting myself and trying to protect my beliefs against everything around me. I'm actually trying to learn, and to know other people and their truths. I'm just looking at the comments real quick. Yeah, Keith,
I got one.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
So Keith is saying, yeah, don't double down on what you said by saying, that's not what I intended. Yeah, it's invalidating. First, you hurt them unintentionally, and then you invalidated their hurt by saying that was not your purpose. It doesn't matter if it was your purpose. Like we've been saying, it's about your impact. Kurt is saying, people won't always remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. Yep.
True that.
Jen says, owning your mistakes, but not making it about you. Yes. Don't take it personally that you fucked up, right? Like, that's another way to put it.
You know what? Because you're embarrassed.
You're embarrassed.
And you want to double down.
It's okay.
Honestly, you feel that? You made a mistake. You did something. Now you're embarrassed, and they're calling you out, and you're like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't mean to. And it's so, you don't even want to own it. You're embarrassed you ever said it, and you don't want your nose rubbed in it like a dog in its piss or something.
But that's the thing. Like, if you double down and you defend yourself, you're just going to make that person angrier. I can't tell you how many times I fucked up and someone called me out, and I was like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. Like, that, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And then the reaction that person has to my candidness, to my just willing to back off right away and admit that I'm wrong, that goes a lot better than doubling down on your ignorance. Yay, I got some thumbs.
So there's a comment off of Instagram by a guy named Michael_art for my mother. He said, I would love to be like that, but unfortunately, I live in the reptilian brain of the USA. People around here talk about their pastor like, who do you go to?
Oh, God, really?
Like they're talking about their doctor.
Oh, no.
Who do you go to? Who do you sit under?
Oh.
Ooh, ow!
Yeah, who are you a disciple of? I'm not a disciple of anyone. I don't look up to anyone. I don't. I look up to me.
Okay. We had
Also, what did these?
okay.
Can't remember who said that.
Say yes to being wrong.
Say yes to being wrong. I do my best not to antagonize my family, probably more than I should. But if I ever ultimately want to date someone of the same sex, which they're not going to be happy with in the least, then that's their problem. I'm reading someone's comment. And if they can't see the irony in calling me selfish, then they can die mad about it. Boom!
LB.
Boom.
Go LB.
Yeah. Sounds like my fucking mom. She was an expert in doubling down. Also, I just want to take a minute to recognize someone who's just entered the room.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Pondillo.
Bob Pondillo
is in the house.
Hey, Bob. He is here. Welcome, sir.
That is hilarious.
I will never be able to fit your shoes. You have very large feet. Mine are much smaller. Who do I sir under? Oh, that's an interesting one.
Sit under.
Sir, he wrote sir.
Oh, I see.
But that sounds like
that's a typo.
BDSM thing.
Okay, I'm not perfect. I'm just forgiven. Bumper sticker.
I'm not perfect. I'm just forgiven. Someone had a shirt.
A bumper sticker.
That said, I'm Mr. Bob. Everyone's excited about Bob.
Yeah.
What about Bob? Bob's here.
Standing ovation for Bob.
Yeah, let's do it. Yay, Bob. Bob, we're just 5 hours away from you. He's not engaging with us. Bob, engage with us.
Oh, he's here. That's engagement. That's as good as it gets.
He's not going to type anything in the comments?
He's letting us blabber.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I mean, he knows you well enough by now.
Yeah, for sure.
Just shut up and listen. So what were we going to say? So someone saw a shirt the other day that said, I'm not perfect. I'm just forgiven.
And I loved her interpretation. Who was it?
What do you guys think about that? I'm not perfect. I'm just forgiven. First of all, I have an issue with needing to be forgiven in the first place. I push against this narrative that we are broken and that we are fucked up. Like, even non-religious people use that kind of language to qualify that we're broken, that we need to get better somehow, be a better human being. We're just fucking fine. I don't need to be forgiven. I take issue with that. But that's probably not what we're debating about in terms of this shirt.
So April said that translates to, I'm just like you, only specialer.
Yeah, only specialer. Mm-hmm.
So there's some bumper stickers in my town and back in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where there's a mega church there. The pastor's a Zionist, and they have Jesus is Lord. There's a big one. I would say a third of the cars in that town have that sticker on it. And secondly, I stand with Israel. And I think they both are ways of, so if they do ever have to stand before God and give account, or this whole, you denied me before men, I'll deny you before my Father. They can say, I confess you before men by putting Jesus is Lord sticker on my car. That was me confessing you as Lord. I'm in the club. And then secondly, I'm standing with Israel, the chosen, because whoever touches them or hurts them, he, is your enemy.
But aren't they going to hell?
It's complicated.
Okay.
But I just, the fear that I need to, and you interpreted it as it's very similar to painting the doorpost with the blood of the lamb.
Yeah.
It's
pass over my house.
Please pass over my car, my house, my
I've
body.
got bumper stickers.
I have the right bumper sticker. I'm in support of the mean God that's going to come around with like the angel of death and kill everybody who doesn't stand with Israel, who doesn't declare Jesus as Lord or have the blood of the lamb on the doorpost. And I just wanted to point out, like, in hindsight, and Dave and I were talking about this the other day, and I'm sure most of you can relate to this, the further out chronologically that we get from our deconversion, the sillier it looks and sounds and is.
You got a lot of likes on that one.
Preach it. It's silly stuff. And
those are the hallelujahs for Facebook.
Okay, and amen, brother.
Amen. We'll take care of this right now.
That's my rant about that. We got some comments to catch up.
We do. Okay.
What did Bob say? Bulls hit.
He did say bulls hit. I think he meant to say bullshit.
Yeah.
And that was autocorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, his phone doesn't like it when he swears. Bob, don't swear. Your phone has issues with this. Amber says that she relates to this conversation. Her mom has said more than once that it would have been easier if she had died.
Oh, no! No! Do not
Fuck,
say such
Amberly.
wicked things.
And then has the gall to accuse her of not letting her defend her comments before cutting off communication. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
What is the fuck
What the fuck
up
is with that?
with that?
Ooh,
I don't.
a lot of thumbs up
People
on that.
do not like your mom, Amberly. They do.
It's not Amberly, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it is.
Amberly.
It's just Amber.
Yeah,
spelled
this
there.
is a comment from the most recent person that we interviewed. This is Amberly, who does Apostitch on Instagram. She makes pretty
Most
cool,
recent guess.
blasphemous cross stitching. So check her out. But yeah, Amberly. I'm so sorry. That's fucked up.
So Keith says, from the outside, it always looks crazy.
He's always been on the outside.
People on the outside that have been on the outside all along,
Yeah.
they have that advantage from the get-go. And you know what? Fortunately, they cut us some slack when we come along and we say, we now think it's crazy too, and that don't judge us for buying it so deeply and hard as we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Seth Berg,
Hey, is
Hey,
it
Seth.
Berg or Bergie?
Berger.
Or Berger? We're gonna call you Seth Berger. So one thing I want to bring up, Cass, I
Okay.
want to see what you think about this.
All right.
So this church I told you about here in Minneapolis is led by a gentleman who is the son of Jim and
Tammy Baker.
Tammy Faye
I've met him.
Baker. His name is Jay Baker, and he has been a pastor for many years, but he has, over time, gotten more progressive. And so now he runs this church called Revolution Church in Minneapolis, and is a mostly online community. It's a smaller in-person community, but it's weird. I'm interested to see what you guys who are following right now think of this. I'm going to do my best to summarize what they're like, and if I don't do them justice, I'm sure that Jay and Caleb will let me know. But they basically, their audience is literally anyone: agnostics, atheists, semi-spiritual people, Christians, whatever. They don't really have any dogma, but they read from the Bible when they talk. They don't call them sermons; they're just like talks. And I think it's just they culturally are inspired by the Bible. And or they're kind of also working through the trauma that they had in the Bible. I think what they're trying to do is distill it down, take out the mysticism and the inherent word of God bullshit that we were taught as children, and they're trying to distill it down. And this kind of reminds me of something maybe Amberly or Jessica said, trying to distill it down and see if there's anything actually good once you remove all that toxic messaging from it. So Revolution Church talks, and they use the Bible a lot, and I've been to it 3 times now, and it's triggering and it's uncomfortable, but
3 times now?
Yeah, I go to church.
Something's you're now a member.
I'm off the show.
Yeah, you're fired.
I'm off the show now. So it's really interesting, and I think it's pretty nuanced, and I think like the main members are actually agnostic atheists, but they're trying to do something with it. And I've told several of my friends who are former religious people, and they're like, nope. They don't want to go. They don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
No.
And I respect that. I totally do. But I'm also like not inspired and not drawn towards, but like kind of a voyeur of what it is that they're doing with the Bible. And
Say hi to Lori St. Louis.
yeah, okay, so that was my thing.
Well, let me talk about it.
Okay.
I want to address it because I know Jay Baker.
Okay. Yep.
I met him at Cornerstone Fest decades ago. But here's the thing: he is Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, or Bay Faker. She's deceased. He is still going strong as a televangelist after serving time as a embezzler or fraudulent tax evader or whatever, using tithes and offerings to air condition his doghouse and things like that. Built a big amusement park. Anyway, Jim Baker's done a lot of damage to a lot of people that have got sucked into his fraud. He's a charlatan. And, you know, the type of people that sit at home and watch televangelists and get sucked in and send money and buy survival food because of the Jesus is coming back. I don't know. he's just an absolute charlatan. And Jay is a sharp guy and has to know that. So I wonder if there's not some motivation on his part to be a reformer from within, to try to counteract some of the toxicity that his father has loosed on the earth. And I would have to honor that. It's like, okay, that's how you're going to try to counteract your dad's evil. Go for it. I've had 15 or 20 progressive Christians on the show in the last 5-year anniversary.
Hey!
Should
we do a dance?
You know, let's try to do a high five without looking at each other. A big miss. A swing and a miss.
Yeah.
I love David Dart. I love Stan Mitchell. I love a lot of the Christians that have been on the show. And you know, as Krista Tippett was on the show, she calls Christianity her mother tongue, but she's far from a dogmatic evangelical fundamentalist. In fact, I wouldn't, you know, we've had a lot of them on, and I don't know where, I mean, they keep one foot in. I think one you could say that they want to keep a little bit of fire insurance. What if Christianity's true? And I mean, everybody's doing the best they can. This is what they want to stick to it. It makes them feel good. But it's possible, because we're complex psychological creatures, that there's a little bit of a, you know, security blanket type addiction to that narrative, or just that world. There's something warm and fuzzy. Maybe we all felt it, and it was hard for us to give it up until it just had no life left in it.
Yeah. But
they still see some life in it for them, and they're the steward of their happiness. I will say this, that the Clergy Project, where I've met many of you and where David Warnock and I met and everything, the Clergy Project, as beautiful as it is and as noble as it is, in my experience, it's kind of a sad state, because you have hundreds and thousands of pastors across this country, male and female, who are not believers, and they're middle-aged or later, and they do not know what they would do for a living. Well, I got to tell you, Jay Bakker, I don't know what he would do for a living. So instead of joining the Clergy Project, he keeps his church open and passes the tithe. I'm just saying, sometimes people stay in the faith because it's all they know and it's their income.
I don't interpret it that way, but I think I know him better than you.
You definitely do, because I haven't talked to him in decades.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying it's possible that some people are out there saying, I got to keep this going. And no judgment.
True. Yeah, that's fair. And honestly, like when I look at what they're doing, I think I can understand what they're doing, but I don't feel drawn to it at all, because out of all the things that are inspiring in this world, out of all the things that people have written in the past, that they're writing now, that all the media, all the inspiration things, all the stories, the least inspiring thing to me is the Bible. Or maybe not the least, but it's not that interesting. It's not that novel. It's not. Yeah. It just says love people, and there's just too much shit wrapped up into it, though, so that it's like, I'm not inspired by that. I'm inspired by people that I know in my life who are real life people, who are living a life of love. I don't feel the need to read a 2,000-year-old document that has a shit ton of baggage in order to be inspired to love someone. It just feels really irrelevant and outdated to me. So that is something I'm not drawn to.
Do you have any kind of sense of value or gratefulness that you were, at least at one point in your life, very versed and familiar with the Bible?
No, of course not.
None?
Why would I be grateful for that?
Well, the thing is like, my kids are preachers' kids. They don't believe in everything, but they have said to me they kind of like the fact that they know the Bible.
Oh, really?
And that if they ever get into a talk with somebody, and I think a lot of atheists know the Bible better than theists, and especially ex-Christians. And it's kind of nice to have in your arsenal, as far as if you want to, if we're going to go down that path. Trust me, I've read it 100 times or whatever. And you know, so I'm a little bit grateful for it. You know, I didn't start drinking and smoking until I was 40. I'm grateful for that.
I guess. I'm not at a point in my life where I'm really looking back trying to find things to be grateful
Oh, I'm not
for.
either. It just came up. I'm just.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We do have a question on Instagram. Steph Van 5 is asking if we'd be able to have him on our podcast. I'm sure we could. I'll get him on the list.
Jay Bakker, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get him on the list. He'll say yes because like.
He's been on a lot of podcasts.
I'm like whatever. I'm like super famous. But also Dave Warnock is going to be on a podcast related to Revolution Church. He's going to record that on Monday. I think it's called The Airing of Grievances. I think that's what it's called, by Caleb Rowe. So they're going to record that on Monday. Also, hello to Austin Cheesy, who just joined on Instagram. I just like saying Austin Cheesy.
Lemon Squeezy.
Lemon Squeezy. Austin Cheesy.
I got one more thing if you don't.
Yeah, no, I've got some more things. But
okay,
you go ahead. Oh, okay. I was going to bring up, isn't it fucked up?
So fucked up.
That the church is being brought into the future kicking and screaming. Like, I was just talking to my buddy Joel today because he's a gay man, and we grew up in the 90s, and so at least we were in a culture that was very non-affirming of anything other than straight. And there were like no churches that I knew of back then that were affirming. And now he's sharing with me about how he was able to go to a church in DC that has a specific group for LGBTQIA people to talk about their experiences of religious trauma within the church. And this is something hosted by the church. It's a religious setting, so it's very nuanced, it's very meta. But he went to that, and he was just talking about how it didn't really fit the bill for him. He didn't really want it. But I just sat there thinking, like, shit, like, why are these people still going back? Like, I'm just trying to understand. Maybe some of you are listening and can relate, but I don't understand why a group of people that has been historically invalidated, murdered by a certain religion are suddenly like super chill with church because church realized it would die if it did not affirm LGBTQIA folk. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. I can't get past that cognitive dissonance of suddenly like, well, my dad finally loves me, so now we're good. We're good to go because he loves me now, and all that abuse doesn't even matter anymore because all I really wanted was his love. I find it really hard to wrap my head around that and to praise the church for suddenly becoming progressive and accepting people.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
Well, it could. We all want to be a part of a community. I mean, loneliness is one of the things that drive humans to do a lot of things, and neediness in general. However, what I've been learning and trying to work on my arrested development as a result of the infantilization of Christianity on my life is people can come and go out of my life and I'm okay. I'm enough. I want to acknowledge that as a human I have needs, but I want to prune myself of needs that are a little too needy and not a healthy need. And what I hear in that scenario is a person needs that dad to love them so bad that they're willing to omit or like negate or erase all those years of abuse just because he's had a change of heart. Mm-hmm. I think to me, the picture of health and adulthood would be, thanks for the apology. I hope that makes you feel better. I may or may not forgive you, and that's up to me, but I still don't want you in my life. Mm-hmm. That would be a healthy response.
Yeah.
So people, we're going back to the church metaphor. People, I mean, I was listening to an interview, for those of you who know Pete Holmes' show, You Made It Weird. This last episode, he's interviewing Stephen Colbert. And Colbert has one foot in Catholicism. He spent years as an atheist. His father and two brothers were killed in a plane crash, and he kind of went back to faith. There again, like, huh. But we know statistically Christianity thrives in cultures that are poorest and neediest and hurting the most. You would think that everybody would be flipping the bird to the God of the pain and the God of the poverty and starvation. But no, when humanity gets broken and hurting, we call on the heavens. That's what we do statistically as a species. So Colbert said, despite that Catholicism is doing their best to run everybody off, I stay. Well, and I think what Marie and I are saying.
On the back for that, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're just saying it's none of our business, but can I say that my respect goes down? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't relate to that logic at all. But maybe I can understand emotionally why that would,
so
be there.
The high road would, if you have friends like that, is to say, help me understand that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's right. That'd be totally right. Another thing I quickly wanted to plug is that most of you know about ACA, which is the Atheist Community of Austin in Austin, Texas. This is, think Matt Dillahunty, a very prominent atheist who has been running a series of shows for over a decade probably. And he'll debate Christians, talk about dogma. It's very intelligent. I've never watched it, but I know it's really well established and that a lot of people have gotten a lot out of it. I know that it's deconverted a lot of people or started their journey. So Dave Warnock, our close and intimate friend who has been diagnosed with ALS, has been invited down to the ACA the second week of August, and he's going to be speaking on the Atheist Experience with Matt Dillahunty, Talk Heathen with Eric Murphy and Jamie, I can't remember his last name, and then another show that's on Friday that I can't remember what it's called. I'm also going with him, and I'm going to be on Secular Sexuality, which is another show that they produce that they purchased from Dr. Daryl Ray. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about yet, but it's going to be good. So that's coming up, and Dave is going to be speaking in Minneapolis tomorrow.
Yep.
At the First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis by the Walker. So this is going to be his first in-person thing, I think.
Live public, yeah.
Yeah, he's just been doing a lot of podcasts and stuff, so I'm really excited. My dad is going. That's exciting. A lot of people from Minneapolis are coming, so looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure Dave is going to deconvert everyone.
So meeting the family is going to take our relationship to another level.
Is it? Yeah, so we're introducing Cass to my dad.
How old is he?
Early 70s.
Oh, yeah.
He was born in 48.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants me announcing that, but he's cool. He's good peoples. The other thing I was just going to share on a personal note, I am going to try to become a life coach. And you might wonder, how do you get certified as a life coach? And I'll tell you, I'm not going to do it. I think I'm already really fantastic at it. And I kind of, I was telling Cass about this yesterday or 2 days ago. Like, I think I really want to become a life coach for people who are recovering from religion, but also want to explore non-monogamy, because I think that's like an interesting fusion of conflict and discomfort and baggage, lots of baggage. And so I want to help people with that. I think that would be super duper fun. So that's the newest vision that I have. Now I got to catch up on comments. People are talking to each other on the comments. Instagram, I don't know what happened to your phone.
It shut off, I think, or something.
Did it shut off on that phone?
Yeah, it went away.
Okay, well, Instagram is dead now, so that's too bad.
I got something.
Okay.
So in thinking about going, well, we were, just for fun, we were listening to Christian music earlier this morning. Big House by Audio Adrenaline.
Big House.
DC Talk.
Lots of. Okay, Trigger.
Yeah, trigger warning.
We're gonna be singing some Christian songs from the '90s now.
And I don't know. It's a plethora of emotions, because it's kind of funny and fun. And is it strange that my best friend was born in a manger? You know.
My best friend was born in a manger.
Yeah,
People say I'm strange.
So, but I thought about the role of Christian music in my life as we were listening to all this, and it was a way to keep me saved, keep me in the fold, because it reinforced. And honestly, we used to say this from the pulpit, that church and staying connected to the Word, connected in prayer, connected to Christian music, connected to the weekly fellowships, they are like a fire, and we're all the twigs and lumber in the fire, or firewood. And when you take that stick out and you put it over here, it goes out. But if you take it and put it back in, it's just going to immediately fire back up. And so this was a metaphor used to say, you got to maintain your faith like you maintain a garden. Weeds will come in and choke it out, etc. And so Christianity was a way for me to just reinforce, not Christianity, Christian music was a way for me to stay in the reinforcement wheel of staying a believer. Because my mind, as we now know, was ready and wanting to get honest and get out and get honest. But I wouldn't let it, because I was just keeping it reinforced.
Yeah.
And what made me think of, and this is kind of strange, it's just a metaphor, but, a little toy top, that you take your fingers and spin on a table, and it spins, and then eventually, because there's no motor, it's just going to slow down and then topple down and fall over. And in the movie Inception, the way that they would know whether they're in reality or in a dream was the top would keep going inevitably or indefinitely. If the top fell down and stopped spinning, they knew they were awake. Now, it's almost the opposite of that, because I think that what I have found is that lies need reinforcement. Even if you're just a social liar, you have to keep that lie alive by reinforcing it with other lies or dates and facts, to make the lie sound good. And you have to be a good liar in order to be a successful liar. It takes work and maintenance to keep lies alive. And I think it's true in our lives that we needed Christian music, we needed weekly sermons, we had to maintain. It was a high maintenance thing. Lies are high maintenance. Truth, on the other hand, what I have found on the other side of Christianity is I don't have to strive or work or maintain or go get my cup filled or my battery charged. Truth is sitting there, has always sat there, will always be there, and I'm just trying to abide in it and align with it. Mm-hmm. And so I don't have this treadmill or this urgency to keep listening to Christian music, keep the faith alive, keep the top moving. To my experience, is truth it's there waiting.
If it's really true, you don't need to keep it.
It's there waiting for you momentum. To get it.
Yeah, it's already there, whether you're touching it or not and spinning it or not.
That's a pleasant thing. I think I'm relaxed. I'm at rest. Mm-hmm. I am not anxious about the truth. Am I on the right side of the truth? Am I my best version of myself right now? I am more at rest with who I am, what I believe. I'm sure I'm tweaking it. Like Marie said earlier, somebody comes along and calls her out. She goes, huh. I'm ready to be corrected.
Yeah.
Feedback is awesome.
Yeah.
And so, but it's not like, oh, today I've got to go to the library and study because I could be wrong about evolution or whatever. Yeah. I'm just at rest, and it's a rest, ironically, that I never had within the faith. Mm-hmm. And it's like
when they promise you peace.
I was going to say Moses was not allowed to enter into his rest or the promised land. It was a metaphor equalized with rest. Mm-hmm. And I, maybe in a way as a Christian, I don't think you're ever allowed to rest. I don't think rest is afforded you in a faith thing, because you have to keep lies alive. Truth is just sitting there waiting for you to befriend it.
Well, you're always in a spiritual warfare too. Mm-hmm, so you're always being told that you're being attacked.
Satan comes to steal, kill, and the seed. The birds come to take it away. You got to be on guard against.
I can't even imagine. Like I was born with an anxiety panic disorder, and then you feed that.
Yeah. Look over your shoulder.
You feed that to me. This is what's gonna happen. It fucks with you. I was gonna say So like historically it's been really, because we were listening to the 90s Christian music because my buddy Joel's in town and we went to Bible camp back in high school together, and so we were kind of like reminiscing because he's not a fundy anymore either. So we were listening to like Audio Adrenaline, DC Talk, Stephen Curtis Chapman, fuck, what was that, the ska group, Supertones.
Supertones.
Oh my god. I historically have issues with music, worship music, Christian music, because it was used to manipulate us emotionally.
Mhm.
And anything that you felt good, felt good when you listened to the music or when you did praise and worship stuff, like it gives you goosebumps because it's moving, emotives, sentimental kind of music. And you were informed that that feeling that you have is the Holy Spirit. And so leaving the faith, that kind of feeling, it has been historically triggering for me. So it's been difficult for me.
I was totally surprised to hear you listening to it today.
I know. I figured you would be. Like, I wasn't triggered at all. I was having a good time. So historically it's been triggering for me. Like so much so I like had to leave a concert and start crying, and like because I just it's uncomfortable. But like today we just started playing the music and fuck, like I was just singing at the top of my lungs.
She knows every word.
I do. Well, the lyrics were on the screen.
Oh yeah, well,
some of them.
You know the DC Talk rap, the fast stuff.
Hey, you want to do that real quick? Well, I'll do it.
I don't know it.
I'll do it when we're gonna close off. I'll sing a song about not having sex before you get married.
I'll do the beatbox. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I don't know. I really
were.
liked listening to that music. I don't know. As I told Joel, I think what it did for me is that it brought me back to a time in my life that I don't really go to anymore because I just discard it. Like it was just years I threw away being obsessed with God, being obsessed with the Bible, being obsessed with this rat race thing that Cass is talking about, a spiritual rat race. That's a good shirt. Leave the spiritual rat race. Quit the spiritual rat race. But anyway, I don't know.
My rat's better than your rat.
Right. I don't even know what that means. But I don't know. And you know what? And I have a cross in my backyard. You saw it, right? The blue, blue one that's hanging from the tree. It's like a wind chime, and I didn't realize it was a cross when I bought it. And I bought it, and then I was like, I need to burn this or like break it or do something because I'm very uncomfortable with this cross. But then my second thought was, or it means nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to hang
the power.
it. Yeah, I'm just going to hang it. Like,
it doesn't have any power over you anymore.
Yeah, what's worse? Like refusing to have any Christian paraphernalia in your house, or deliberately having Christian paraphernalia in your house because you don't give a fuck. It doesn't mean anything to you.
Oh, look at the hearts on that one. Boom. Touche.
Ah.
So I just want to say that the album Sticks and Stones by the 77s, I still listen to on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, someone said something about the 77s in the comments.
Oh, did
that they really loved it. Yeah.
Fucking great album.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in the comments. I'm sorry, we're talking, so it's hard to stay up to date on the comments.
And nobody can keep up with LB.
Oh yeah, LB's talking.
He's in a class by himself.
I want to share. I mean, there's still 15 people here. I want to share another story.
Okay.
I have a balcony at my house, and in preparation for Cass arriving and to enable him to smoke easily from the bedroom.
Right outside my bedroom.
Right, it's attached to a bedroom. To enable him to smoke out there, I kind of got it set up, and I bought like a hammock and shit. And like, so a couple nights ago before he arrived, my husband and I went out there, and we just talked all night for like 3 hours until it was dark. And then we were able to see the stars. And I swear to you, I was not smoking pot that night at that time yet. But I just got lost in the sky. Like, my husband took astronomy. I never did. So I don't actually really know anything about space or the universe. I know a little bit about geology, but not that. And so, like, I just started asking him questions about, like, what are stars? And he's like, oh, that's when hydrogen is burned and makes helium. and then something, and then it compresses and makes iron, and then it compresses, and if it gets so dense, then it'll explode, and the sun will explode with this matter, and then this matter can get gathered up and create planets, and then solar systems are constantly spinning and like crashing into each other and shit. Like, it's just fucking chaos out there, you guys, and we're just on this one little planet in this one little what are we in, a solar system in one galaxy. And it's just so fucking big. I don't know how you can try to conceive of that to the extent that you can and still make the world so small by committing to this God from, what, 3 BC or whatever? Like, it's so much bigger than that. And I was just fucking blown away.
Or smaller.
Or smaller.
Because I think of the pale blue dot and it's like, our insignificance in light of all the things you just unpacked. We don't matter, and nothing matters.
No.
I mean, as far as the universe is concerned, so we're small. So that's where I look at it. But I also hear what you're saying, in that you think religion tries to make the earth big, or where now you're reading.
You keep talking. I'm catching up.
Well, I was asking you a question.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think as atheists and naturalists, when we look up and we realize we're a dirt clod hurling through space, and how much a master narrative or grand narrative like Christianity cheapens the bigness of that and the broadness of that. That's all.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, for me, it's just it's very matrixy for me, my experience of my world right now, like, because I'm starting to realize it's really hard for me to just like go to an office, sit in a cube, schedule appointments, buy a house, drive around, buy groceries, because I'm constantly aware. I'm just constantly looking at my body, looking at my veins, and being like, there are so many different animals, so many life forms that have the same kind of, or similar, analogous bone structure as me. We all have mouths, we all have noses to breathe somehow, we all have ears, we all come from this. We're pretty special with the opposing thumbs, but there's a lot of other animals that can do a lot of cool shit that we can't do.
I'm going to open the door. I'm trying to grab the doorknob.
But it just blows my mind, and it's hard for me to like relate to humanity sometimes, because I'm constantly aware of how fucking insane it is that we're even here at all. And like, when you go through the process of thinking through how the fuck we manifested consciousness this way, and the fact that we have language, and the fact that we've developed the world, we've colonized the world around us to be submitted to us, we've just subjected the earth to us, we've created boundaries that don't actually exist. It's just fucking insane, and I find it really difficult to like live on this earth sometimes when everyone's so fixated on fashion or something like
trivial.
I mean, it's fine, like fashion's fine, whatever. Like, I like my shirt, obviously, fashion, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just hard. It's hard and everyone else is just talking about the traffic and the weather. And I'm like, have you thought about death today? Because I have, like, at least 5 times. You want to talk about that? So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. Maybe I'm the only one that's right.
I think your next challenge is to be around people that maybe are talking about the traffic, and then either make some attempt to engage with them on a level that is meet me in the middle, rather than just entirely judge them as shallow. I'm just saying that as it takes one to know one.
Yeah.
That if I get with people that don't share my values, then my pitfall is to feel superior to them. And
I don't know that I feel superior. I just feel like my brain is in such a way that I can't help but see those things.
And they can't help but not in some ways.
Right. So sometimes it feels isolating to be aware of those things, and so you end up making friends with crazy people that are gonna meet your dad tomorrow. I don't know. So let's check out the comments real quick, and we probably should wrap up soon because we were gonna do an hour, and now it's been about an hour and 23 minutes, and we've had pretty consistent, like about 15 viewers here on Facebook. We did lose Instagram, so that sucks. People are talking about me being high. My husband is confirming that I am hilarious. I am hilarious.
Hi, Donna Spikes.
Yeah, Donna Spikes. She's one of our people.
our peeps.
Yeah. Kurt's saying that my way out of faith was primarily through science, and I definitely feel like my new worldview is much more expansive and interesting and awe-inspiring. I agree.
Hey, a quick toast to the community. Love the community. Love you guys. Love what we are able to do for each other.
Indeed. It's not about us. It's about him and how he done fucked up. We have to clean up this mess.
All right. I'm bored.
All right. I was going to sing the sex song.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh.
I don't even know it that well, so I'll try to find a beat.
All right.
It's not
So,
one of the DC songs. What album was it off of? Hey, Rex.
I don't know.
Rex Allen Mobley.
Rex is here. Hey, Rex. You came a little bit late, but I'm going to save this to the Instagram or to everything. This will be accessible.
It's over an hour.
Later. Yeah, that's what I said, bro. So, to exit the show, I'm going to sing you a song by DC Talk.
You can put it on and sing along with it.
Nah,
Okay.
that seems like a lot of work.
Okay.
It's about purity and to maintain your sexual purity, and it's by DC Talk. So if you know the song, sing along. It goes, sex is a test when I'm pressed, so back off all with less of that zest. Impress this brother with the life of virtue. The innocence of sin is gonna hurt you. Safe is the way they say to play, then again safe ain't safe at all today. So wait for the mate that's straight from God, and don't have sex till you tie the knot. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Want your sex for now.
I do. I want your sex. She's going to pass on it, so I'll take the leftovers. Sloppy seconds for me. I'm all.
So Cass is literally going to fuck our entire listenership. I'm so glad you're watching this. This is great. Oh, there's people that are angry, happy,
those are all
sad.
The people that want to fuck me.
They're angrily like, oh, I want to fuck you. I'm so mad.
I don't want it. I don't know the song.
Yeah. It's horrible. It's DC Talk.
But you nailed it.
I did. 1-800-LOVESEX is on the TV. Too much skin is in your vision. You gotta make the right decision. God has set his standard higher. Purity is his desire. I'm gonna choose to wait. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know none of you want to have sex now, so that's good.
I know. No, there's too much skin in your.
Much skin is in your vision.
Yeah,
you got to make the right decision.
There's no such thing as too much skin.
Toby Mac. Damn, girl, go. Oh, they love me. Okay.
Right, there we go.
All right, so my monologues now are going to be rapping. Rapping about virginity. Fuck away Lyme disease. What the fuck? Too much skin is in your vision. You gotta make the right. Oh God. So that's all we got. Do we want to tell them anything else?
Let's close in prayer. Bow your heads.
No.
I got nothing.
Nope. Okay, dear Cass.
So triggering.
No, here we go. Dear Cass, thank you so much for this Q&A today. I am so thankful for your presence and your goodness and the fact that you flew all the way over here to spend time with me and Dave. You almighty Cass.
Dear Marie, thank you for putting a roof over my head this weekend and being such a kind host and loving me just like I am.
Uh-huh.
Will you please come into my heart? Marie, will you come into my heart and be my personal Lord and Savior?
Smite.
Guide my life and steps, because I'm impotent and can't do it but without you. There's no good in me. You're all the good I could ever be.
Oh, that's so uncomfortable.
I'm a triggering motherfucker.
Yeah. You want to do some tongues before we go?
No, they
don't like that. They don't like tongues.
Somebody complained.
Did they?
Well, you said they did.
Oh, yeah, in that one episode that you did tongues and didn't give a trigger warning.
Yeah. Heads up, I'm about to do something that could make you remember a traumatic experience.
I mean, you're listening to everyone's agnostic. Literally everything is a trigger.
Yeah.
Literally.
Hopefully. Because that's the thing is, after a while, you want to find your triggers and go, okay, let's Let's buy that cross.
I mean,
and put
that's why I'm going to Revolution Church, because it's triggering. It's uncomfortable.
Let's put on DC Talk and see if I can handle it.
I mean, yeah.
Exercises and what's it? Immersion therapy, right?
Exposure.
Exposure.
Yeah, exposure therapy.
All right, I gotta go. My sciatic is killing me.
Okay, he's got a sciatic nerve issue. So make sure to save your virginity. Judge your neighbor.
Bye, Cracky.
Worship Satan. All right. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are lovely. Thank you for your kind comments. Thank you for engaging with us.
Check out Dark Matter 2525.
And I apologize for Cass.
I don't.
Good. Bye, guys.